The military is one of the best ways to pay for college and earn a degree. The military offers a range of educational benefits as a perk for serving in the military. A serviceman can receive benefits like the GI Bill, loan repayment program, tuition assistance, work study program, and the veteran assistance program. There are many different branches one can serve in. There is the Navy, the Army, the Marines, and the Air Forces. Each branch also has reserve branches that also receive the same benefits. If that doesn't fit, one can join the ROTC program at his or her college or university. The Army ROTC program is an elective curriculum that a student can take along with required courses. One can participate for the first 2 years of college without any obligations to the Army. The Army ROTC program is one of the best programs for students, along with plenty of benefits. The ROTC program offers college tuition and scholarship awarded based on grades. Many people question the idea of college and military, but the fact is that the military offers the best plan for funding one's education.
Is the Montgomery GI Bill a sufficient aid to further service members' education? This is a question that has been asked since the birth of the GI Bill in 1944, when President Theodore Roosevelt signed it on his desk, as seen here. Since 1944, it has been revised, renamed, restructured, used and abused, and debated over. In the beginning, it was agreed that the GI Bill was sufficient enough to aid service members in their education. However, since then, tuition rates have skyrocketed and the funding stayed the same, until 2 years ago, when Jim Webb and his co-workers decided to revise the Bill of Rights and push in a wartime GI Bill of Rights to aid those who are fighting for our country after the attacks of 9/11. Senator Jim Webb and his co-sponsors decided that it was only fair that those who are defending our country today got the same privileges that the service members did after World War II in 1944. This bill is able to bring soldiers and sailors alike home from the war and cash in on a GI Bill to further their education. Here's what Senator Jim Webb had to say.
In the Senate, we have 4 principal co-sponsors of this bill. 2 are World War II veterans, 2 are Vietnam veterans, 2 are Republicans, 2 are Democrats. This, again, is what we need to be doing. And folks, this is not a difficult concept. For all the people who have been saying that this is the new greatest generation, this is the easiest way for all of us to prove that. When our country was attacked by the forces of international terrorism, these are the people who answered the call. It's time for those of us who have been calling on them to serve again and again, to assist them in providing the most tangible thanks that our country can offer, and that is a meaningful chance for a first-class future. It's a future that is equal to the first-class service that they have already given our country. That is the motivation for this bill.
This legislation is wise. It has consensus.
It is a wise investment, just as the initial GI
After
Bill.
careful research, it is my opinion that the new GI Bill is sufficient enough to aid service members to further their education.
Funding for the National Guard is not equal to the active Army funding. In terms of recruiting, the National Guard has reached its goal on numbers, and they are trying to cut back in soldiers, like give 10 and 15 years retirement plans. In terms of education, National Guard soldiers get a maximum of $4,500 a year of tuition assistance, and that only covers about 18 credit hours. And with the new GI Bill, only soldiers who were activated and deployed after 9/11 get the new GI Bill, and it is based on how many months the soldiers spent overseas. In terms of employment, the National Guard is cutting back on hiring soldiers for active jobs in the National Guard because of the lack of funding. Based on the research I've done, I came to the conclusion that the National Guard funding is not equal to the active Army funding.
The uniform is commonly misrepresented through media distortion. and though primarily used as a recruiting tool, should be modified and regulated to more accurately depict the armed forces experience. Serving in the armed forces does not particularly mean that you'll spend many of your years parachuting into danger, twirling rifles on mountainsides, or etc. We respect and admire the soldiers whose careers are idolized by Hollywood depictions, but because of inaccuracies, less than 20% of common military knowledge expressed through this nation's people is actually accurate. Based on the importance of securing the imagery of our nation's heroes, particular advertising truths, and the possibilities of depictions being fundamentally obtainable, are several reasons for the media's distortion. The ideals of teamwork in the basic training environment that are highly emphasized in most of the commercials reflect one of the smallest portions of your career as a soldier as a whole. All in all, it's important to acknowledge the inaccuracies of commercials and Hollywood depictions while giving the same considerations to advertising in general. Coupled with security protocol and appealing to target populations, misrepresentation is understood and permitted, but should be modified and regulated to more accurately depict the armed forces experience.